Self-defense. That's what the woman accused of fatally shooting a car dealership employee is claiming. 34-year-old Kawasu Samba of Madison was the employee who died Monday.
Samba's family spoke about him in court this afternoon, saying their community will never be the same without him. NBC 15's Marcus Arsvold joins us now with what led up to this deadly shooting. Marcus, the suspect, Jakira Anderson, is charged now with first-degree intentional homicide.
Anderson says she was having problems with the car she leased from MSI Auto and was trying to get her money back on Monday before the situation turned deadly. According to the criminal complaint, Anderson claims Samba became loud and aggressive with her as they argued about her returning her car. She says she then used her, quote, defense weapon and shot at Samba, but says she did not mean to kill him, just to scare him away. 30 friends and family members of Samba appeared in court virtually. They remember him as an unwaveringly kind man with an infectious smile and a person who made a great impact on the community. Samba's pregnant wife spoke directly to the court, saying she's devastated by the loss of her husband. The family says they still fear for their lives as they grieve their loss. Samba came to the United States from Gambia in 2011. His family says it was to pursue his American dream. Anderson says she purchased her gun legally, but did not have time to register it. Her bond is set at $1 million, and she'll be back in court on March 30th. Live in the studio, Marcus Arsvold, NBC 15 News.